There's a need to reduce the amount of fuel in our forests nationally, and especially in the western United States. And for this area in Flathead County, it's a relatively high-risk area. It was burned almost entirely in 1929 during the Half Moon Fire. There's a lot more homes here now than there was in 1929, and we have a lot of fuel or vegetation that's grown back in the last 100 years.
The wildland urban interface, it's a place where people are building houses in the forest. And this can create an issue when there isn't proper forest management in these areas. Flathead Electric has 67% of our service territory in the wildland urban interface.
So there's a high level of risk when we have vegetation encroaching within 10 feet of our high voltage primary power lines. It can cause ignition, it can cause an outage.
In Northwest Montana, we are very prone to fire. We just grow trees very rapidly here.
We have lived through fire seasons, notably 2001, 2003, and from that, the reality of what could happen here is very present.
The Community Wildfire Defense Grant is a grant that we applied for and received about a year ago, and we've been using the funding to help mitigate wildfire risk in our community and help our community mitigate risk on their property as well. What makes the CWDG unique for us is that we were able to make this a partnership. It wasn't just the utility, it wasn't just private landowners using the funding.
So the National Forest is doing a lot of this type of work on the National Forest in and around the communities. And then Flathead Electric's doing their part to protect the power line infrastructure and to reduce fuel along the power line corridors. And then if the private landowners get in the mix, they're able to further reduce fuel on their private lands. Then cumulatively, all of that work adds up to make a landscape scale different.
Community Wildfire Defense Grant is a partnership between Flathead Electric and MWED.
Geographic location that private landowners can apply for this is from Columbia Falls to West Glacier.
If I were a landowner, I would go on MWED's website and I would fill out an application. One of their foresters would reach out to me and they would do an assessment at my property. They would let me know what work needs to be done. Then I would either do the work as a property owner or hire a contractor to do it. Once the work's done, I would be reimbursed, and that is the process, start to finish.
So there is still currently funding available for private landowners, but it is first come, first serve. So I definitely recommend applying and getting that work completed as soon as possible.
This is a heavily vegetated area here in West Glacier, near Glacier National Park. We have a lot of hazards, there's a lot of trees.
We've seen such an influx of people come from cities and want to move in and just get a little piece of heaven. You can kind of see it all around us. And so that makes it really challenging. We have to work really hard to educate people and help them understand what it really means to manage the forest around us and get them on board as stakeholders, as sponsors of what we're doing.
Well, what we have right now is our crews are working along the right-of-way, mitigating any hazards that might potentially damage the wires or cause an outage. Yes, this is a high wildfire hazard area. Right now in this area we have 6 crews. It's a combination of ground crews, we have slash busters, we have a piece of equipment called a giraffe. So we are using all the resources we can to alleviate all this vegetation in a timely manner. What's great right now is we have other projects we're doing as well, so we're able to tackle this work at the same time, and using those funds with the grant is a great partnership.
We're doing a lot of system maintenance in the area, clearing our 10-foot right-of-way. We have quite a few contract crews in the area helping us get this work done before snowfall comes. So it's keeping us busy, it's keeping them busy. Local homeowners and private property owners are very open to the work. They want more education, more hands-on experience with this grant I'm seeing, as well as doing their part on their own private property once FEC has gone through to do the right-of-way.
Our company provides guided activities in and around Glacier National Park. So it's rafting, hiking, biking, fishing, and lodging. We have approximately 20 acres around West Glacier. We chose to participate in this grant because we have lived through fire seasons. And from that, the reality of what could happen here is very present. For us, we see it's really just integral in being a sound, both entity as a business, but also as a great neighbor. We want to protect our property, our investment. And the main way that we can do that is by creating a defendable space that's set back from burnable material. It's the initiative. It gets you to go out there and you're like, oh, I've always wanted to go, clear this section to make it look a little bit prettier. And now it's like, I have to do it in the next 2 years. It helps our insurance rates. It helps us be a great neighbor. It helps us to defend our space against fires. And I think it's just the right thing to do in order, it gives me peace of mind.
I'm Stephen Willis, and I own about 22 acres in the Coram area. So the goal for my property, my home as a homeowner, has been to mitigate fire risk as much as possible and still live here. So when I designed the home to be relatively fire resilient, such that the home has a metal roof, it has metal siding. I did the best I could to have 6 to 8 feet of gravel and or cement pad around the perimeter of the home to decrease fire risk to the home. When I found out about the community forestry program to mitigate wildfire, very excited to participate so that I could get some insight into what I can do to help decrease the fire risk in this forest, which is around the home, which is quite a diverse forest.
Like Stephen here has a multi-faceted stand, so he's got age classes and different species. And so we're helping him fin that for fire-wise practices, but also for wildlife health, ecosystem health, and then fire resiliency. So it's a multi-pronged approach.
So some of the specific action items that were given to me, I do have an above ground propane tank. And so I wanted to remove fuels away from that propane tank. I think that's really important, but also egress in and out of the property. So thinning trees along the driveway so that if emergency services need to get here, they can get here more safely.
So if we can get homeowners to understand the need to reduce fuel on their private land and around their homes especially, then it really helps us and helps them in a fire situation. Fewer trees, less fuel. Your goal is to try to get 10 feet between the crowns of the trees so that the fire is not spreading from the surface to the small trees into the crowns of the trees and then traveling through the crowns of the trees. So by breaking up the continuity of fuel and the crown spacing, it helps keep the fire on the surface where we can more easily deal with it.
So a property owner, first of all, could look around their own property and look at the things that they could do to protect themselves, which include clearing out needles, debris from their roof, anything that's flammable from within 5 feet around their property, anything flammable close to your house, you want to reduce that.
The community has really responded quite nicely. We've gotten emails, phone calls. Yeah, it's really exciting to see so many people involved and excited about the work that we're doing and connecting community members.
Seems like people are super understanding and they're passionate about, their community and their neighbors.
We're absolutely all in this together. My neighbors and the people I live close to, we depend on each other and hope that, my property and what I'm doing in this process potentially decrease fire risk to other neighboring properties, as well as protecting my own.
What I can tell you right now is wildfire doesn't understand property lines. We're all in this together means that everybody has to do their part in order for it to have an impact in our community and for wildfire risk to really be mitigated.